This is every fight to make after UFC 317. Let's get into it. Ilia Topuria just flatlined Charles Oliveira in the first round. Beat him in the grappling. Beat him in the striking. And he knocked him out cold. Brutal knockout. And I think he should fight Paddy Pimblett. And I know people are going to be like, oh, it's Arman. It's definitely Arman. But like, we have an opportunity here to do a big fight that has hype behind it, but then you just want to do Arman Tsarukyan, whose biggest claim to fame in the last couple of years he's been in UFC is pulling out of a fight last fucking minute. Like, he may as well have done it when they're in the fucking locker room at that rate. And obviously Dana was pissed off at the post-fight press conference, and he kind of leaked that Arman Tsarukyan actually couldn't make the weight, so there was no point of him fighting, because you got to think of it this way: if he can't make the weight, he can't win the belt. Even if he wins the fight, he doesn't win the belt. So to that extent, I'm not going to say I agree with the decision, but I understand his decision. Let me put it that way. But yeah, Ilia Topuria should fight Paddy Pimblett, just because, as well as that, you know, I actually do think that Paddy is actually like one of his difficult matchups. Like, Paddy's fucking huge. Did you see the face-off at the end? Which is another reason why the fight should be made. The face-off is like hype, you know what I mean? But you see the face-off at the end. Ilia Topuria looks like a fucking bantamweight, and Paddy looks like a welterweight. Like, he's fucking huge. You know, I think this fight is actually I think it's actually one of the worst matchups for Ilia, but I still think Ilia would knock him out cold. And that's the thing with Ilia. You know what I mean? Like, you think this is his worst matchup? Max Holloway, brutal knockout. Unbreakable chin, knocks him out. You know, you think he's going to lose to Charles Oliveira because Charles Oliveira is dangerous in the pocket? Look what he just did. You think he's not technical enough to beat Volkanovski? Slumped him out cold to him. You know, he was always going to beat Volk. I always had that thing. The minute he beat Josh Emmett, I was like, yeah, he beats Volk. He just does. But yeah, on to the loser of the main event. What the fuck happened there? Charles Oliveira should fight Holloway, even if Holloway loses to Dustin, which I'm starting to think he will. I am very much thinking that Holloway is not going to come back the same after that brutal knockout from Ilia Topuria. But yeah, I think these two should fight in a rematch. It will just be a class fight, a co-main event of a card or something. Like, Charles Oliveira doesn't need a belt to be a star. He just doesn't. While Ilia, I think he does need a belt to be a star. I just think he does. Charles Oliveira as well, he's coming off that brutal knockout. He needs to take time out. Holloway took time out. Let's see if he comes back the same. Oliveira needs to take that same time out as well. Yeah. But yeah, these two would be a great fight. It just would be. It would be fucking fireworks. This as a co-main event or a feature fight, this would be class. And please retire the fucking BMF belt. Please get rid of it. It's just trash. Like, it looks cool, but it's just trash. It's just WWE, innit? But moving on to the co-main event winner, Pantoja should fight Van. It's probably gonna happen. It looks like it's going to happen. And I'm going to say it right now. My pound for pound list currently goes like this. Ilia number 1. 2 is Pantoja. 3 is Islam Makhachev. And I guess 4 can be Dricus. And 5 can be Volk. And I'm not having Merab in my top 5 because he's fucking terrible. He just fails endless takedowns and people think it's actually fun to watch. And we'll get on to fucking Van's fight, actually. Van had a fucking war with Royval, which, hang on. I haven't given Royval a matchup here. Shit. Well, that's fucked. But Joshua Van is a fucking problem in the division. I think he beats everyone other than Pantoja. Pantoja's actually unfair to fight. Like, how do you beat him? How do you beat him? If anyone was to beat him, it was Kai Kara-France. Look what he just did. You think it's going to be Joshua Van? I think he's too small for the division, which is wild because he's a flyweight. I just think he's tiny, and Pantoja's massive for the division. I don't think he wins. I really don't think he wins. I think Pantoja's going to run through him and dominate him for 5 rounds. I don't think he gets submitted like the last 2 people. Wild. I don't think Pantoja can finish Van, but Van can finish Pantoja. But can he? Can he? He couldn't finish Royval. Pantoja has 10 times the chin that Royval did. This fight needs to happen, but I don't think he beats Pantoja. Pantoja is the GOAT of flyweight now. He just is. Maybe one more win, he definitely is. But I think it's safe to say that he's the GOAT of flyweight now. And for the loser of the main event, we're giving Cap his last chance, his very last chance for a top 5 opponent. Otherwise, he's fighting Usyk after or fucking someone on a losing streak. Or he can fight unranked guys at that rate. Because he's starting to piss me off pulling out of fights 2 weeks before 10 days. You know what I mean? Like, you could have pulled out against Makayev, you know what I mean? Because no one likes that fucking boring sport ruiner. But Kai Kara-France should fight Cap. There's beef there. They both hate each other. Kai Kara-France would probably win this too. Kai Kara-France literally... His thing is literally a big overhand. No, you know what? No, actually, I think Cap. I don't know, but it's a good competitive fight. Needs to happen. Cap is probably one of the best in the division when he shows up, because he doesn't like to show up anymore, do you? It's very annoying, because I was hyping him up like for the entire time for the fucker not to show up, making me look like a right mug. But yeah, France should fight Cap. Yeah, and I've missed out Royval, so I can't really give him a matchup, but I'll give him a matchup now. Oh, fuck. Who am I giving Royval a matchup against? I guess you could give him the winner of Usyk Perez. I guess. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Dariush had an amazing performance. Well, not amazing, it was pretty... It was an average fight. You know, if it was 2 unranked fighters, I'd call it boring. But because it was Dariush and Marcano, then I actually found it entertaining. Dariush, I told you, if he comes back even 50% him former self, he would be like he is. Like, he will beat Marcano. Like, Marcano's good. I don't think he's top 5, which I do think Dariush is top 5, top 6, 7 material. I don't think Moicano is. He could probably beat someone like 9, 8. He could... Nah, not Paddy. I don't think he'd beat Paddy. I've got a good matchup for Moicano in a second. A really good matchup. Dariush, you can tell he's aging. That's one thing I want to say. But... the guy didn't retire. That was his perfect opportunity to retire. To retire on a win. You know, it was a good performance from you. You pushed in the 3rd round when Moicano didn't. You know, you showed you had more heart than him. You showed you the better fighter than him. You know. Yeah. Dariush is a class fighter. I've always liked Dariush. He's a great grappler. His stand-up's a bit sus, but he's clearly aging now. And I think that's a problem he's going to have now. Because he is clearly aging, and you could see it in his performance. A bit like Dustin in the Islam fight. Which, again, how is that so close of a fight? You know. But, yeah. I think Hooker as well. You pulled out of the fight with Gaethje. I guess you broke it. I get it. You broke your hand. But at the same time, it's like... you got to start punishing people for pulling out of fights like... 2-3 weeks before. If you've broke your hand, you've broken your fucking hand. You know what I mean? You don't tell him a fucking week or 2 before a fight. You know what I mean? But yeah, I wouldn't really call this much of a punishment. I think Hooker would beat him pretty I think he KO'd Dariush. Dariush got KO'd by Moicano, who's pillow fisted. So I think Hugger could, who's... I assume he hits harder than Moicano. You know what I mean? I reckon most of the division would hit harder than Moicano. But yeah, let's get on to Moicano while we're here. Moicano should fight Chandler, and this would be a good fight night of like a good fight night of some random card, or it would be a good feature fight of a pay-per-view, because you got to think the press conference. Actually, no, this is a feature fight of a fucking Jack Della Maddalena main event. I don't know, co-main event, fucking chuck whoever on it, I don't know, put Pantoja Van on it, and then you have Moicano Chandler as the feature fight of the card. That's a class fucking press conference. You're gonna have fucking JDM with his mediocre trash talk. Then you're gonna have Islam, who doesn't even know what he's saying half the fucking time. Pantoja, who's very fucking boring as a human. And then you're going to have Van, who's just scared of speaking at press conferences. And then you're going to have Moicano talking about his money. And then you're going to have Chandler trying to give inspirational speeches to the crowd. I think this would be class. You know, like I feel like the press conference would be amazing for this. And as well, it's a winnable matchup for Chandler. Someone who's chinny, someone who's hittable, someone who, you know, like he is beatable, Moicano. I didn't really understand the glaze of Moicano. Like, he is funny. He is good, but I don't think he's like... I never thought he was going to fucking fight for a belt or something, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, there was actually people unironically betting on Moicano to win. You know. But yeah, Chandler, you're trash. So this is a way for you to get a fucking win if you can beat a chinny guy. But I don't think he does either. I think Moicano would take him down and fucking... BSDs him, and as well as that, how bad is fucking Islam's resume? Just like Volk, after their fight, he got knocked out again, then he won his belt back. That's a great win, right? Charles Oliveira's done nothing but really much lose. I think he's free. I think he's like 1-2 in his last 3. I think, and then. You're going to talk about, like, Moicano, who's now on a 2-fight skid. And now you're going to talk about, like, Dustin Poirier, who might lose to, he might lose to Holloway. So, I can already tell it. I'm going to be saying this because I hate Dagestanis, you know. But, yeah, that'll be great. And, yeah, Talbot should fight Gafurov. We all need Gafurov a test in our lives. And, I just think it's funny, like, you've got an LGBTQ and then someone from Tajikistan. I think this would be really fucking funny. I just think it would be fucking hilarious, especially if these are at, like, the opener of a main card or something, or a prelim headliner. Like, you have fucking professional LGBTQ hater on one side, and then you got an actual member of the LGBTQ. So, I think it would be class. And Talbot showed he has improved from his last fight. I still want to see you lose and go on a losing streak and just get dominated. You know what I mean? I fucking hate Talbot. He just is a fucking... yeah, let's not get based. And for Lima, you are disappointing. You decided on multiple occasions to lay on your back and do shit. You know, you're disappointed. You should fight Douglas De Silva Andrade. It's an easy win for you. Get you back on track, and then you can start working up in the division. Yeah. And don't you shit the bed and lay on your back again against trying to be a jiu-jitsu side boy, you know what I mean? Like, fuck this shit, man. Why do people do that shit? Why do people lay on the back? Do you want to get elbowed to death? I don't get this. I don't get it. But yeah, he disappointed us all. Very much. On the next fight. Gregory Rodriguez murdered Jack Hermansson. That is a fucking career ruiner right there. Yeah, RoboCop looked amazing. He just looked amazing. So yeah, that was a brutal knockout. And I think he should fight Abus Nurmagomedov for no particular reason. No reason whatsoever. I definitely don't want to see his lifeless corpse on the canvas. Obviously I don't. I'm a nice, respectful person, and I've also spelt his name wrong, I've just noticed. I've spelt his name wrong like a fucking idiot. Nice one, Jack. Yeah, I just want to see any Dagestani knocked out cold, flat, fucking frothing up on the floor, twitching and that. A bit like, you know, when Bryce got knocked out by Josh Emmett. That's how I want to see Islam Makhachev against Ilia Topuria. I want to see Islam on the floor, twitching on the floor. Not Ilia, Islam. But yeah, moving on to the... What was it? Yeah, Jack Hermansson. Who should Jack Hermansson fight? Jack Hermansson should fight Mikael Pereira. Michael Pereira is a 4, and he's lost. Jack Hermansson is a 50-50 fighter. How bad is Joe Pyfer? That's what I've just realised. How bad is Joe Pyfer? Fuck Joe Pyfer, man. What the fuck? But yeah, Jack Hermansson should fight Pereira. If not, retire, because that was a hefty knockout. That was a heavy knockout. Like that was bad. That was bad. Like, I get you want to come. I get you want to like come back and like, you know, you want to come back and you want to like get a win before you retire. But I don't know if you would even be the same. You've always been chinny. You're gonna get jabbed and you're gonna get knocked out now, because that was fucking brutal. But yeah, I think that's the video. Yeah, that is the video. So that is the video. Like, subscribe, and I will have predictions out for Lewis versus Talison Teixeira, one of the best cards of the year. 2 fat heavyweights is the main event. I bet you're fucking excited for this. UFC 370, one of the best cards of the year. You're yet to witness this fucking card, but at least it's not in the fucking Apex. But yeah, let's like calm ourselves down before watching that masterpiece of a card. But yeah, that's the video. Like, subscribe, and comment who you think should fight. Yeah, each other, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.